What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Wingin' It podcast, episode 4. Andre, how you doing, man?
Um, I'm doing a lot better than some people. So that's all I'm going to say there, because I mean we're already going to be talking about it anyway. Don't want
yeah,
to spoil it too much.
we're gonna hold off our Pokemon Direct thoughts to the end of the podcast, just because we got a lot of stuff to go through this week. There was some CES stuff from last week. There's a logo that people are acting surprised about. There's some stuff from Astral Chain. The Switch Pro. Everybody's thinking it's coming this year. Oh my god. Um, the backward compatibility discussion, it comes back up again,
With
and to
I have one thing to say about that. People, please stop calling it forward compatibility. It's backwards compatibility no matter how you look at it. Just
oh
because Sony wanted to throw out a new term that means the
oh
exact
god,
same thing. It's the
forward,
exact
forward
same thing.
compatibility.
All our
Okay.
games are going to be forward compatible with the next platforms, or the next platform is going to be backwards compatible with all of the games. Use the term that's already out there that means the exact same thing. They're trying to say forward compatibility because these games are going to be upgraded on the newer hardware. But honestly, that's what's been happening with backwards compatibility,
For
even all
years.
the way back to the Game Boy Color and the Game Boy Advance. If anybody's actually took their time and done any research, like with the Legend of Zelda Oracle games, had additional features on the Game Boy Advance that were not present on the Game Boy Color. There you go. That would be forward compatibility, which is
Oh,
also backwards compatibility.
oh, my head's hurting. All right, so so first thing tonight, though, we have to. I'm going to take this time to apologize to somebody I have criticized a lot. I'm going to take my time to apologize because clearly this individual works very hard for the gaming community, and we don't show him enough credit. And you know, we don't show him enough love. And that person is Jeff Keighley. That's
Nah,
right, people.
I
Jeff
think
Keighley.
he gets far more
But
love than
but
he
but
actually deserves. I ain't gonna say
but
nothing.
but we don't give him enough of the credit and the admiration that he. Okay, I can't keep this up. Look,
I,
look,
I
look,
I
look,
couldn't look. You did better than what I could. I couldn't send it at all.
look,
So
man. Okay, so I'm scrolling on Twitter because I actually follow people who do a lot of amazing, crazy little artwork. So I was hoping that I could find some stuff from Boss Logic with some cool posters, and that's what I went on Twitter that day for. I'm not gonna lie, that's was my pretty much focus. And all of my time, I keep seeing all these hashtag is it still rigged? I'm like, what the hell? Hashtag is it still rigged? What the fuck? And so I look, and it's our good buddy Jeff Keighley. Now, Jeff Keighley, as you know, Game Awards, and we've said this. We said this in our Game Awards review. Correct me if I'm wrong, Andre. We said we're glad that he does it, but these are things he needs to change.
hmm
Was that were we out of line? Were we like cussing him out left and right? Were we doing that?
apparently everyone that said that was out of line, and everyone that said that was disrespectful. Everyone that said that hurt Jeff's poor feelings.
So he's been putting out because there are other award shows coming up, and he's been putting out because Control and Death Stranding are still top of some of these game awards. But here's the problem, Jeff Keighley. What you saying is it's still rigged? Yes, your game
Yours
award,
was rigged.
yours was rigged. You want to know? Do you want to know why? The problem was it wasn't that those games were top. We didn't. No, it wasn't that. You had Hideo Kojima on your committee. He has a game that Death Stranding is his game. Conflict of interest, much
And
conflict of
on top of
interest.
that, whether or not Jeff Keighley himself was directly involved in any of the voting, he's in said game. And on top of that, most of the committee members had games that were in the running for different awards. It should have been decided by fan vote, not committee vote picks everything. And if there's a tie, then fan vote counts. That's backwards. You want to go with the biggest pool of opinions
Hmm.
for your voting system, and then leave it down to the committee to choose if there's a close draw or a tie at that point. You don't want it the other way around. That's why people were saying it's rigged, because we all know what you did, and you put it out in plain English for people to figure out. And they're like,
That,
so
so
the committee's choosing the games, the committee's voting on the games that get the awards, and then fan vote matters. You tell me, if I run an awards show and I say, hey, you guys vote on all of these games. Now, it's a different story to have the committee pick what games go up for vote. I can understand that because
yeah, that's
you
different.
already can, and you can base that off of social media, what games were trending most during certain periods of time. That makes sense. But at the same time, once you select the games that are being voted on, the vote itself should go to the fans. It shouldn't be the fan vote counts for 10% of whatever the nominees get. That should be the majority.
And another thing also, um, when you have the same 5 games in every free in like I want to say at least 14 of the categories, either your committee is lazy as hell or
Or it's rigged.
you you tell me, Jeff. You tell me.
Now,
Y'all have more than enough time all year to do this. You tell me, Jeff. So yes, if you're gonna say is it still rigged, your game award show, yes, it was, because you could have easily had you could have done that in a better way than what you did. And look, we all know Kojima's your homeboy. We're not gonna be mad about that. We already know that. And that's another thing. You did that to yourself, putting him on that committee, knowing good and well that he had an actual game, out, and that was in line to be up for the Game Awards this year for inclusion. So you should have never did that. You made yourself look bad. But it is what it is in that point. Any other thoughts, Andre? Did I lose you? I think I may have lost some people. Let's see if we can get him back. Hold on one sec. Oh, there he is. He's back.
sorry, my internet just kind of dropped.
About to be scared for a second there. Any other thing you want to wrap up before we move on from Jeff and his pettiness?
I mean, look, the only other thing that I'd have to say about the Game Awards is, again, consistent categories. Consistent categories that are going to be there every year. Not 5 or 6 that stay consistent, a large swath of them that stay consistent.
Yeah.
Minor awards can be run on the sideline and posted on like they were doing before. And instead of having, what they need to do is have a category for each platform: Game of the Year for Nintendo, Game of the Year for Sony, Game of the Year for Microsoft, Game of the Year for mobile. And then an
Oh, and one
overall
more
game.
game, and one more Game of Year for PC.
Yeah, Game of the Year for PC, and even Indie Game of the Year. So that way
Yeah.
you have 7 categories that fit for Game of the Year. And then, hey, if you want to talk about esports and stuff, do that as sideline stuff outside of the most popular esports team and the most popular esports individual player. We don't need to know about the coaches. We don't need to know about the broadcasters. Do all
Half of
that
us
stuff
don't even
side.
know anyway. Half of us don't
Yeah,
even
we
know
don't
those
care.
people no way. So I mean, yeah, y'all might know them because y'all go to all those events. Like most of the majority of people that's watching your event, it does not know who those people are.
Yeah, they don't, and they don't care.
They really don't care. They just don't. Oh, and do yourself a favor, man. Don't be video cameraing the people in the front when they knocked out.
Mm, yeah, really, really.
It's a
Do a
bad
do a
look.
do a look through first.
Yeah,
Have somebody look through, be like, okay, let's not do a camera shot here. Let's go to that group over there where
yeah,
everybody's actively watching and viewing. Don't catch the dude.
yeah. I mean, just
Don't get that dude on camera because, oh gosh, that was
got to.
horrible. That was such meme material. Especially the one meme where they put his head on everybody's body.
Yeah, yeah, that's just asking for it. You
Like
know,
y'all know better. Y'all y'all know better. Oh, please do not have Vin Diesel come on stage for anything video gaming again. Him or
Michelle
what's her?
Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Michelle
Don't
Rodriguez.
don't have her come up there either and mispronounce the game title because you gonna have every one of us look at her like,
And please don't let them. Please don't let them near the bar first. Let them come
oh
up
no,
sober,
no,
please.
no, no. Have the
Because
bar closed down. Have the bar closed down until halfway into the show.
or
Please.
at least till it's over. Because hell, half the people be toe up
No.
anyway.
Halfway in, I say halfway into the show because you want to get the major awards. You want to see them get drunk and
Yeah,
come up
yeah,
on stage. You want
yeah.
to see them get a little tipsy and come up
A
on
little
stage.
tipsy. Yeah.
And please do not swap your Game of the Year choice last minute like you guys did and give Sekiro the Game of the Year award.
When it's clear the director and the producer didn't know that was gonna
Like
happen.
they was like, oh, what did we do? You wrong. Something's not right. What did we do? You can tell the look on their faces. They were surprised.
It was hilariously awful. But
Uh,
that look, man, the pettiness level, Jeff. Come on, man. Stop. Have a stronger spine than that. You love to try to act like you know with you
you
try
act
to act
like you can handle any.
hard when when you on your own show and on your own turf, you try to act like you're all hard. There ain't no reason to be doing this on Twitter now because it make you look weak,
It does.
really
Oh,
weak.
one more thing. One more thing.
Hmm.
He's never going to live down the Doritos Pope thing, so he might as well just find a way to embrace it and incorporate it into the show. At the very least, if he can make a joke out of it himself,
It'll go
other
away
people will
quicker.
lighten up.
Well, it'll go away quicker too. Because
Yeah,
once you start making fun of it, it'll be like, okay. Because people be like,
there's no
okay,
fun anymore at that
yeah,
point.
at that point, yeah. Because like, yeah, dude, you once again,
And
you did it to yourself.
that's the last thing. No more of these social justice themed commercials. I get that you want to support. I get that you want to support different causes and things, but the social justice themed commercials don't help
They
because it
really
takes
don't.
it takes people out of the moment, it takes them out of the excitement of the show, and it makes them like, why is this here? It's out of place. Now, if you wanted to do something like that at the beginning of the show, where you have a couple different advertisements that have a message to them, do it at the beginning of the show where people are just getting into it. They're like, okay, I can sit through a couple of these. But like between every award, no, no. And if you're going to have advertisements, make it stuff that's relevant to the awards. Where it's a new game that's coming out, and you just want to show that game off. Fine, do that, and don't world premiere stuff we've already seen.
Oh, please, guys, stop doing
It's
that.
not a world premiere.
If
If
we
we've
saw it at
seen
E3,
if we've seen it at E3, we've seen it at TGS, it's not a world
or
premiere at that point.
if we seen it at San Diego Comic Con,
If it doesn't, if it's been anywhere else, just because you got one or two more scenes added to it doesn't make it a world premiere.
and sometimes you don't even have that. You had the same trailer we saw at E3.
Yeah, just don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Just
please.
say just call it what it is. It's an advertisement. It's not
Yeah,
a world premiere. It's an advertisement. We know that the main focus of the Game Awards is to advertise the games that are popular and to advertise newer games coming out. We
yeah.
all know this. It's a popularity contest. Popularity contests are done solely for the purpose of advertising. We get it. Don't play us for idiots.
Just stop with that BS. And that being said, let's go on to why people are pissed off about the PS5 logo. Really?
I mean, it's the same
Really?
logo as the PS3 and the PS4. I
I'm
don't.
like, it's PS and a number 5. I don't see what the problem is.
I get that people want Sony to do something new, but have you guys forgotten that you allowed it to happen? That they're doing the same things over and over again. This is you, the fan base, have created this problem.
You are the monster. You're the
You're, you're, the,
monster.
you're the monster in the closet. You created this problem. You
Yeah.
can't be mad at Sony for following the trend that has worked because of what you have shown them that works.
And let's
Now,
be honest, is it anything different? No. So that's the other thing. I'm like, dude, they've been doing this for how many console generations now? And now you're mad? Now you're surprised?
I mean, if anything, I'd be mad at the design of the console, not the logo.
Yeah, the logo looks fine to me. I'm like, it's PS and 5. Okay.
It was
Quick, easy,
expected.
and to the point. Like, quick, easy, and to the point. All right.
Like, what was y'all expecting to call it? PlayStation Origin or something? Like what?
Oh, please, God, don't go with the Microsoft naming convention.
Oh god.
Let's see. This is our fifth console. Let's call it the first one.
Yeah. I really think that if they would
Christ.
have stuck with the name Xbox Scarlet and actually not made it a big black brick, but made it like
Red
a
brick.
reddish console
Yeah.
and put it out, one that'd have been something completely different from what they've done. It would have caught everybody's attention, and on top of that, they would have had a decent name for the console instead
Yeah.
of Series X,
X. Yeah.
which looks like a mini fridge. And
Which. Well, yeah. I mean,
it
yeah,
looks like a little portable mini fridge that you cool your sodas in.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. They ain't no saving that one. But hey, it is what it is. At this juncture in the game, it is what it is. So I just thought it was like weird that people were getting mad about a logo.
Yeah, I they named it appropriately. They named it what everybody was expecting it to be named. They
Yeah,
put out a logo that anyone could have seen coming.
yeah.
And
I
on
did.
top of that, they're actually trying to give people backwards compatibility with all of the previous generations of systems.
Yeah, you should. You think that would be a bona fide plus?
Look. This is the time where people who haven't bought a PS4 should be looking like, okay, so the PS5, I'll just get that instead, and then all the
Yeah.
PS4 games I didn't get because I didn't have one. Okay, there we go.
And I'll still have access to the 3 and the 2 because let's be honest, Marker Crease should have been on those consoles. Should have made it past PS2.
Yeah.
We're not gonna. Yeah, Marker Creek. Yeah, look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about. Jack and Daxter. Look it up. You don't know what I'm talking about. But that being said, I mean, hey, Sony, do what you do. I'm here for you, Playboy. I want y'all to be
Look,
successful. So
I'm not.
y'all do what you do.
I'm honestly not upset with Sony for what they're doing.
Yeah,
I'm
I just
still,
want to see the
I'm
games.
still questioning that design of that console with that big little. I'm like,
Hey,
I'm like, what was y'all thinking with that? I don't know.
well, remember the PS3 had the Batarang controller.
Yeah, but they didn't. They
They
never
did
brought
not
that
release
out.
that.
They did not release that controller. They looked at him like, how you gonna have your hand curved like this around?
Well, first of all, it was a controller made for Batman. All
Yeah,
right.
it really was. Look, I can see Batman pulling one of them out, flinging it, hit somebody.
Like, come on, man.
Like it's
Yeah,
either a batarang or one of them vibranium, one of them vibranium throwing disc that Black Panther has.
yeah. Yeah, like dude, what the? If you don't know what we're talking about, when the original PS3 was revealed at E3, I want to say 2005 or whatever it was, there was the controller for it looked like a silver Batarang.
It did. It was curved, and the
Yeah, it looked
button
like
placement was way high up. The pad placement was way high up, and then the thumbsticks were like
way down the bottom. Yeah,
it was a horrible idea.
it looked uncomfortable, but
It, it looked like it was half a steering. And I think honestly that's probably what they were going with because they were figuring they're going to put the six axis in it and you're going to be tilting the controller. That was a horrible design, and I'm glad
but
that they didn't go.
but if you wanted to stop a home intruder, that was the best design.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially if they made it solid, like it looked like it was, because
Yeah,
it did look like this little solid, heavy controller. You be
instant
fling,
concussion. Instant concussion.
fling that one good time. Somebody turn around into that, they are out.
Bam. Yeah, bam. So yeah, whatever.
Like
All
I
right,
got
so
him.
well, he's never gonna play for the NFL. All right, so uh, the next one, Platinum Studios. Y'all know one of my favorite game developers out today. gave us some interesting viewpoints on Astral Chain. Apparently, it sold above expectation. Does that mean we're getting a sequel? Because remember, back on the Treehouse at E3, they did say they had ideas for a 2 and a 3. They
I
just
mean,
had to see how the first one sold.
I'm looking at this like you got it's basically Devil May Cry Police Force. That's what I'm looking at it as. So I mean,
Yeah, yeah. Picture Devil May Cry mixed with Bayonetta mixed with Nier Automata.
yeah, I can see that. I can see all that. I can see that.
So, I mean, I haven't finished the game, but I love the game, and I know I'm a now. If, most people would be like, yeah, man, but you a Platinum Studios fanboy.
That don't mean
Kinda,
you got like every
kind,
game that they made.
kinda, but I'm not gonna like kinda, but I will say this is actually interesting. The Astral Chain game is actually interesting. I do have some issues with it, and but overall, I think it's a good action game. And I was wondering how it sold because I'm like, Platinum Studios for all the good, great games they make, for some
They
reason
just
people
sell.
just don't buy them. But when they send stuff to the end,
It gets bought.
it gets bought.
And
So
as bad as this sounds, and I know this is going to sound like I'm picking on people, but to be honest, the Xbox and the PlayStation crowd doesn't really like heavy action games. They
no,
don't.
not unless
That's why they don't
unless it's
sell well.
military. Not unless it's military.
Yeah, unless it's a military shooter.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. That's why Platinum doesn't do well on those platforms. That's why Bayonetta 2 didn't come out on PS4 and the Xbox One. Because
But it never
Microsoft
will.
is going to help get those games made because they just didn't do well, especially not on PS3. This PS3 version was a hack job that was ported without Platinum's input.
Yeah.
That was a horrible job.
Yeah. I mean, and the sad thing about it is Kamiya actually talked about it because people were mad when the Wii U bought Bayonetta 2, and they were mad at him, and he was like, "Go talk to Microsoft and Sony." We went to them. We went to them, and they wouldn't buy it.
Yeah,
Nintendo helped.
just think about what was the game? Scalebound.
Yeah,
If that had
Scalebound.
actually come out on Xbox One, it wouldn't have sold. That's the bad thing. Like as much as I would have wanted it to sell, it wouldn't have sold for all the hype people were giving it for it to be an exclusive game to Microsoft. It wouldn't have sold.
You know who would have bought it?
PC crowd would have bought it, but they would have bought it at a deep discount.
Yeah, that's who would have bought it.
Yeah, and that means
Unfortunately,
Platinum would pay money.
and the sad thing about that game too is that game was meant to be a single player experience, and Microsoft wanted them to
So
make it
what?
multiplayer,
Yeah,
and like they couldn't get the multiplayer to work. It was like, dude, because it's not meant to be a multiplayer.
it definitely wasn't. It was meant to be a single player experience with a grand scale of
Yeah,
battles and stuff. And that's what it was meant to be. That's what they were working on. And that's why Microsoft and Platinum had that falling out, which is why you don't see Platinum trying to work on stuff for Microsoft exclusively anymore.
mm-mm. And they probably never will.
I mean, they might in the long run. They might if
Yeah,
Microsoft can patch things up, but it's not happening anytime soon.
nah, man. You know how Kamiya is.
Look, we had a great game in Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah,
Ain't happening again. Ain't happening again because
no,
Kamiya did not like working with Kojima. I can
no.
tell you that
Oh,
right off the bat.
dude,
Hated
man,
working with Kojima.
the Twitter exchanges were a thing of beauty. He
And
was
it's like,
pissed.
and he's not going to work again with Konami
Mm-mm.
because he knows how Konami is.
Yeah.
So ain't no more Metal Gear Rising. As much as I would love to see another Metal Gear Rising game,
Mm-mm. Not
not going.
unless not unless somebody else buy it.
Oh, we know Konami ain't gonna come up off that IP. They ain't gonna do that anytime soon. They
The
they'll,
only
they'll
person,
make Pachinko games out of that before they come up off of it.
hey, the only company that's probably gonna be able to buy it is Disney.
That's sad, but it's also true.
Disney be like,
If this buy it and turn it into a movie series, which actually wouldn't be a bad idea,
yeah,
but
Disney
buy
be
it
like,
turn-
so Metal Gear, how much you want for that? $80 billion. Hey, cash it, cash it. We got that.
go ahead. Like, they'd be like, go ahead. You heard me. Go ahead. Pay some.
We gonna make that back. We'll make
You
that
gonna
back.
make that back? And like we'll make that back, and we'll make that back by the second movie. We good. Just go
Yeah.
ahead.
Shoot, man, the way Where they going? Put Kevin Feige over the movies. We'll make that back by the second one. What?
And all they had to do is and bad thing is they'll probably go ahead and make Keith the Sutherland be Solid Snake.
Yeah.
I bet you
Why not?
for at least for the first.
Either have him play Solid or Big Boss.
Oh, come on again. There it goes.
Either
Same thing
Solid or Big
first.
Boss.
Well, no, he'd probably be Big
So
Boss first. He'd be
because
Big Boss first, then Solid Snake after that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying because he's older. So I'm like, I can see them doing that. Yeah, I I'm surprised they haven't done that. Like especially when like Appleseed Machina, Ex Machina came out. I'm surprised they never did a Metal Gear movie like that. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, so next thing
I
on
wish there was an Appleseed game. Now I'm thinking about it.
they should have been, but we ain't gonna get into that because that's gonna bring back painful memories. But
But
so
okay, hold on. In theory, though, who should develop it? Should it be Ninja Theory, Platinum, or
what kind of game we talking
actually,
about?
I didn't even give it to
Are
Team
we
Ninja.
talking about action or are we talking about if we talking about
Action.
straight up action or are we talking about like action adventure or RPG? Which one are we talking about?
I'd
It
say,
depends on the
I'd say
genre.
for I'd say for a straight up action game because there's a ton of like
Platinum,
There's a ton of Michael Bay explosions in Appleseed.
yeah, platinum, yeah, platinum. If you're going straight action, platinum. If you're going like action adventure RPG, I would either go Koei Tecmo or Ninja Theory.
Okay.
But yeah, straight up action, nobody. If it's action, especially if it's a Japanese product, platinum. I'm not trusting nobody else.
Okay.
That's just I don't trust anybody else because they will understand it better
Well,
than
okay. I
you
was just
know.
thinking about it because Platinum would definitely be good for the action in the game, but then I'm thinking somebody else would have to do the storyboards.
Yeah, and they've done that before, so I can see that happening. So the other thing, so we had CES this week, and there was a lot of good stuff coming out of CES. But one thing caught my eye, and that was Alienware. Alienware had a reveal called the UFO. You know how you sit up in school and you copy from somebody's paper
Yeah.
and you forget to change their name? That's pretty much what the UFO is. So apparently the UFO is their Switch, but for the PC. So basically, it has. I don't want to call them Joy Cons because those are not joyful. Um, they have their little sliding on connect pieces on each side, but you're supposed to be able to play PC games anywhere with that. Andre, your thoughts?
I see what you did there, Alienware, but GPD kind of beat you to the idea a while ago
Yep.
with the Win game. What is it called? The Win something. They
Yeah.
they kind of beat you to the portable PC experience a while ago, and they are nowhere near as expensive. And on top of that, for everybody who's out there saying that this is a Switch killer, every time I've
I'm sorry.
heard something is a Nintendo anything killer, that device in and of itself, the device or software in and of itself ends up doing so poorly with this killer hashtag on it. But listen.
Let's see. PSP and Vita.
Oh, Knack as well.
Mac.
Uh,
Yep.
then there was what was it? What was it? It was supposed to be. What was it supposed to be a Halo killer? I know that's not Nintendo, but it was what was it? It was supposed to be the Halo killer.
Uh,
That
I
game.
don't remember that. The only thing that I've ever remembered that's supposed to have been a killer but didn't,
Oh,
but
Dark
it's
Cloud.
yeah, Dark
This
Cloud,
was
yeah.
the
But
Zelda killer.
the only game that was supposed to have been a killer, and this had advertisements in comics back in the '90s when Sony and Final Fantasy put out that Final Fantasy VII was going to be the Legend of Zelda killer,
Oh yeah, that didn't work at
and
all.
then Nintendo released Ocarina of Time. I rest my case. That's the only one that didn't that it it didn't kill Nintendo, but Final Fantasy VII still sold a lot. But
Mm.
it didn't kill it.
No,
you
Nah, it
still
didn't.
kill it.
Didn't at all.
Um,
But
yeah,
I mean, either way, it's just like stop labeling stuff a killer or something else because it typically doesn't
yeah,
end up being that. Now
and,
it could be a really good device,
yeah.
but at the same time, you want to know
That
why
price.
Nintendo? You want to know why the Nintendo Switch is so power efficient in the way it is designed? Because stuff like that gets hot in your hand when it's running something that's intensive. What do you think happens with your cell phone when it runs an intensive game? It gets hot. Why do you think that Samsung Galaxy Note, what was it, Note 2s? It was
Note
the
two, yeah,
Samsung.
the Note two. It
Those are
was a,
ones that were blowing up, right? Remember
yeah,
the battery was
one,
blowing up in them because of
yeah,
the power consumption. It was too much for the device.
yeah,
That's why the Switch is designed the way it is. And unless Alienware is taking a page out of their notebook on how to design the hardware, this is going to be a device that runs hot. It's going to have very low battery life, and on top of that, people are going to not get the performance out of it that they're expecting because it's not an actual PC. It's a tablet with two controllers
with
on it.
yeah. That's basically what it is. And the other thing too is, and I know we've said this before. Uh, if you play something on your phone or your tablet on high settings, because a lot of these now come with 4K settings, your tablet and your phone
Your
now,
battery dies so fast.
your battery is going to not be worth crap, and it's going to burn the back of your hands.
Yep.
It is. So that number one. And the number two, look, Alienware is known for being expensive. They're
Yeah,
known
that's
for
another thing.
being expensive. So
You
I'm like,
expect them to drop you expect them to drop this tablet that runs games at 4K, high settings, possibly. I
yeah,
doubt it's gonna be high settings. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like 4K at like low to mid settings.
yeah, probably
But
low. Yeah, yeah.
you're expecting this to be like this Nintendo Switch killer and supposed to be high performance. And again, if what I'm thinking is right, you are going to come upon a situation where you have the controllers melting off of the device because the heat it puts out is too much. Because I doubt that they're going to go the route of trying to make this power efficient.
No.
They're
And
not.
are you gonna have Vince to try to like cool it out? Probably not.
Probably.
Yeah, probably not. So I mean,
It's
it,
in concept. Concept is an
it's
awesome
interesting.
idea,
It's interesting in concept, but
but we have to see the execution.
yeah,
And I doubt that Alienware is going to drop this device for any less than $500 or $600. That's
yeah,
at bare minimum.
yeah. So I mean, I just don't like the way it look either. The way it look just looks bad. It just look
It kind of looks like that concept. Remember, there was the Xbox one that they were looking at.
yeah,
It had the tablet, but it had like the stick controllers that were on the side of it. But
yeah,
they didn't come off; they were attached to them.
yeah.
That's what it looked. It kind of looks similar to that, but it's more curvy.
Yeah, I don't like that look. So all right, so
I hope it comes in some different design colors.
it
The
better.
one thing I wish Nintendo did with the Switch, different
Yeah.
shells. They didn't
Oh
do.
no, no, you can't do different shells. We'll give you like 80 billion different Joy-Con combinations though.
We'll give you a bunch of different Joy Cons. We'll throw different we'll throw different docking stations at you, but we will not give you different designs on the
Nope.
tablet.
The hell with you.
God,
So
so bad.
the hell with you. The hell with you.
I told y'all how to do this, but y'all ain't listening to me.
Hell, they know how to do it from the N64, but we ain't gonna get into
They
that.
did like not, they haven't done different color variations really since the GameCube
Yeah,
and
because
like
game.
with
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that being said, so once again, the Switch Pro has been at the forefront of stuff. Now IGN is saying it's coming this year. Uh,
I
well,
doubt it.
we all know the YouTube commenters that swear up and down it's been coming since 2017. Um, but here's the thing. Do you even care at this point? I don't. I don't
Honestly, I
care.
it's like
I don't
honestly if
care. The games are fun. I'm playing. I don't buy a console to say, "Hey, look, man, I'm cool, right?"
like hey
I'm
look this is mine right here. This is
like, man, come on, dude. I play to play games, and
stupid.
the games that they come out with play smoothly. I'm happy with it. I don't need. And once again, I understand that some people have like they have certain graphical needs. They want like stuff to be looking a certain way. I completely understand that. We've been fortunate that there have been good ports of certain third-party games on there. Like I said, I got Mortal Kombat 11 in April when it first released. It did not look good. It looks great now. It's not on no Xbox or PS level, but it looks great now. But they had to go through some stuff to, continues optimizing and updating to get it to work right. Do I want them to have something that'll play it a little bit smoother? Of course I do. But here's the thing. If you think for 1 second they're gonna put 4K in a tablet like that, if you think you're gonna have a good battery, you're not paying attention.
You'd be lucky if you get an hour out of it at that
Yeah.
point.
If you think it's not gonna run hot,
Oh yeah. Hell,
so
Switch from what I remember people talking about the Switch runs hot as it is at
yeah,
720p.
yeah. So okay, so now you're talking about we're gonna get a Switch Pro. So are we getting a new dock with a fan in it?
You'd have to. You'd have to.
You have to give us a whole new thing. So I look. Do we know a better version of the Switch is coming? I can say with certainty, more than likely, just because we saw it with the DS, we saw it with the handhelds. We're probably getting a better version at some point. Is it going to be what you think it is? I don't think it's
Probably
going to be
not.
no 4K, because yes,
And,
they do have 4K chipsets for phones and tablets. That don't mean they're going to put it in that.
and even if they did, that doesn't mean that they're going to put it at its maximum capacity. If
Yeah,
anything, if Nintendo did put those chipsets in the Switch and do an upgraded Switch, they're probably going to go at 1440p, which
yeah,
would be the smart thing to do.
yeah.
Instead of jumping to 4K like everybody else did, where they didn't have proper content ready for it.
And there's only two games that plays in actual 4K
Yeah,
because everything else is rendered.
and both of those on PC, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, one of them. Well, I would say one of them is
Mm-hmm.
And the other one that was built from the ground up was the Spider-Man game on PlayStation.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Those
But
are the
it,
only two that were built. Those are the only two that were built from the ground up for it. The other ones have all been up-resed when you
yeah,
get PS4 Pro or Xbox One X.
which is the same thing that your TV would do anyway.
Anyway, so I mean, hey,
It's not going to be too different of a look.
yeah.
That's the
So
whole
that's
point.
so at this point, my question to all these people that keep pimping it and like they just know it's coming. It got to be coming. It's coming. Please come. Are you playing your games, dude?
Here,
What games are you playing?
here's the question I got for everybody. So if Nintendo releases this upgraded Switch, does that make it a ninth generation console now? Because
Don't
everybody
start that.
no. I will be the one to start that. Because if it's quote unquote 8.5 gen, because it isn't more powerful than the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One S, then would the updated version be a ninth gen platform? Because if it is, then that means the previous version is still a ninth gen platform, which completely kills your daggone argument. Because generations are based on time, not power and capability.
I know that you know that, but people that don't play video games but are trying to claim that they love video games don't know that.
I'm just saying, like, okay, say you are you Dwayne Johnson's kids. Your daddy is definitely stronger than you are, but does that make you a lesser generation than him? Does that make you his point 0.5 generation, or are you the
Nope.
generation after him?
You're the generation after, and depending on how old he is and how young you are, he might be two generations after. Let's be real. Some people did that. So some people did that back in the day. Let's just be real. So
But it's just it's again, generations are based on timeline, not technology. People want to redefine what a generation is, and that's not how it works.
hey, look, it'll be ninth generation for Sony and Microsoft, yeah, but Nintendo's already in the ninth generation
They've been in the ninth generation since
for the
2017.
for the Nintendo family of consoles. They're in the ninth generation. Sony and Microsoft are not in the ninth generation. They'll be in the ninth generation when their new consoles drop in the fall.
Yeah,
If both of them drop in the fall, we still hadn't. It's
I
still,
I have a
but
feeling one of them will drop in the fall and the other might drop in the spring.
yeah. So
If they think about it, if they thinking about it, and they being smart, one of them will be like, okay, we'll let you drop before the holiday. We'll drop ours during tax time.
especially if
That
mine
way,
goes especially if mine gonna cost a lot.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, that was the smart thing Nintendo did with the Switch. They dropped it around tax time. They
Yep.
knew people was getting their tax checks. They were like, "This is a good time to drop this
Yeah.
instead of
So
the
yeah,
holiday."
go home because we're not packing in a game this time. So
Yeah,
y'all gonna need to buy a game.
instead of dropping it during the holiday when you know upon people are going to be clamoring for a bunch of different stuff anyway. Why compete with who's going to be out there trying to get all the new stuff instead of putting it out at a separate time where you know again people have money
Yep.
and you don't have a whole ton of opposition.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just at this point I'm like, man, at this point I'm just like, dude, just
That
please.
that's why I also want to see a console drop during the middle of the summer and not be an unplanned one like Sega did with Sega Saturn. I want to see it happen where it's planned out,
A real
real console launch
console drop.
during the summer.
Yeah, yeah, that's what generations are. This is probably the first and last time I'm ever going to talk about generations from me. Generations are you define a generation, and I don't even define it by gaming as a whole. I define it by the company as for them because everybody ain't dropping them at the same time no more. So yeah, like I said, has already been in their ninth generation. Sony and Microsoft are still in their eighth generation. Yes, they had upgrades, but they're still in their eighth generation.
Yeah,
Once they new ones drop, then they'll be in their ninth generation. When Nintendo drops their next one, they'll be in their
and then
tenth
10.
generation. So I do it to company. I don't do it as gaming overall anymore because everybody's dropping at different times. So hell, the 360 dropped the whole year before Sony and Nintendo did. They dropped the whole year. So
Yeah,
there was a generation for their gaming side. They were a generation ahead of them before they dropped theirs. But now we're all off. Everybody's all off, all off time. So I do it by the actual company as opposed to gaming as a whole, just because it's easier to do it that way than to try to keep up. Trying to say gaming as a whole to me is just
hmm
a lot simpler. So
yeah, it's a lot easier than trying to keep up with the Joneses. It's just
yeah,
I had to make that point because people still make that dumb argument.
yeah, you see it all the time, and I done got to the point now where I just ignore those people because they're not gonna listen to me no way. They're gonna believe what they want to believe, so I let them believe it. Like I said, at this point, I don't even care about the Switch Pro. Honestly, I'm just tired of seeing people pretend like they don't even like the system they have now. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, they love to pretend that. They love to
when it
pretend that.
comes out, I'm like, when it comes out, then you have to make your decision if you
hmm
want to upgrade it or not. Just like when the Switch Lite came out, we knew the Switch Lite was going to come out. Why do we know the Switch Lite was going to come out? Because Nintendo has done this before. They have. So we knew it was going to come out. And I said when they dropped that trailer, I'm like, dude, I'm not buying this because that's not for me. I know who that is actually meant for. It's not meant for
Okay.
me. So
See,
I'm not buying it. But hey, if you want to get it, all for you, man. Go ahead, go handle your business.
see,
But
I was looking at it as Nintendo was going to just drop the Switch without the dock instead of a whole new physical device because that would have just saved them money. But
yeah,
they went through the trouble to design a whole new device
yeah.
that does the same thing, so that's on them,
I mean, 3DS or 2DS, same thing. All they did was
basically.
take the 3D out. It's the same damn system.
Yeah.
So yeah. So me, I just at this point I don't care. I'm just tired of people talking about it because I think that people are not even playing their games because they're so busy trying to figure out, oh well, Sony and Microsoft are doing this, and since I want to be cool, I
You
want to still
can
be cool.
never.
I'm like, look, if you are a gamer, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you are a gamer, you are not cool. You are not. You will never be cool. You will never be cool. So stop trying to be. If you are a gamer, you will never be cool. Okay? People will look at you and like, "Oh, you're a gamer." If you are if you are a gamer, you will never be cool. Just admit that, have fun playing your games and be like, "Dude, there ain't nothing wrong with playing a little video game." That's how I de-stress after a long day of work. That's how I de-stress. So, I know I'm not cool. If you are a gamer, look me in my you will never be cool. Admit it. You just won't be cool. But you will be cool to other gamers.
Which was
Right?
always the case.
Which is always the case. This has been the case ever since I started gaming. Yeah, do cool in the gaming sphere, but outside of that, and if you think I'm lying, how many consoles did PS4 sell? 100 and what? 15 million worldwide,
Yeah.
I think it is. There are 320 million people in the United States. They
Oh,
sold 115 million consoles worldwide. You are niche.
yep.
So that's what I mean when I say you're not cool. People still talk down on people that game. Hell, every time something happens, they blame it on what?
Gaming.
Even when you're like, dude, that has no correlation. They It's all the gamer's fault. So just enjoy what you're playing. That being said, let's go to something a little bit more non-positive. Backward compatibility. Backward compatibility. The discussion comes back. Now you started off with the forward compatibility. We'll jump on that a little bit later because that's utter nonsense. But the backward compatibility. Um, remember when it wasn't cool to say you had a
I
backward
mean, I mean,
device?
who was it? Who was it that said it? Oh yeah, Don Matrick. Having backwards compatibility in your system is backwards. But Xbox One now has a crap ton of backwards compatibility
Game Pass.
and Game Pass. Yeah. Like that man really screwed it up for Microsoft when he opened his mouth. They like,
I know Phil Spencer want to
that,
choke
that's
him
the
so
that's the
bad.
that's
I
the
know.
one time. That's the one time I agree with Jeff Keighley trying to fix the situation. He was like, "Are you sure you want to say that on live air to everyone watching?"
Yes, I do, because I'm drunk and I'm high.
Because
Oh,
I
oh, and
because
and
I'm
by the
drunk
way,
power.
and by the way, y'all don't know this, but I've already put in my resignation. I don't know why they sent me here, so I really don't
He was
care.
already he already had one foot out the door and was leaving to go to Zynga, which he
Yeah,
ran into the ground also. But hey,
yes.
good going.
Opportunity, opportunities.
He had the
I,
opportunity to be in charge of something and completely killed it.
you know what? If Celebrity Deathmatch comes back, one of the death matches need to be Phil Spencer versus Don Matrick.
Oh man, that'd be entertaining.
They do that celebrity death match. One of the matches need to be Phil Spencer versus Don Matrick because I have a feeling Phil Spencer would choke him. I'm just saying,
Choke until
all the
his
stuff
head
he
pop
has to
off.
clean up because
Oh
of
yeah,
him in his mouth.
yeah, he did.
But yeah,
And the bad thing is, he cleaned up Microsoft by following Nintendo's steps.
no,
Nobody
no,
was
no, he
sitting at
didn't.
that.
No, he didn't. Phil Spencer followed Phil Spencer. Okay, just because he plagiarized Satoru Iwata's direction does not mean he did not.
I swear he literally copied that man's speech almost word for word.
Word,
And
man. I'm like,
nobody was saying. I'm like,
nobody batted an eye.
like just literally the year before that, Iwata had said all of that stuff, and everybody laughed at him for saying it. Phil Spencer said it.
They laughed him off the stage. They said that somebody from America needs to take over Nintendo because he don't know what he's doing. They still do the stuff that was coming out of people's mouth. And the second Phil Spencer says it, see, he's a visionary. What?
They were like the second, no. The second Phil Spencer said it, everybody was like, okay, when can I drop to my knees?
Yeah,
That's what
basically,
happened.
yeah, yeah. That's facts, facts,
That's what happened.
facts.
Like
So
I'm gonna call it like I see it. Like all of y'all is hypocrites. That's what it is.
hypocrites, and well, we all know what happened when Iwata passed, and everybody was sitting there.
Everybody was like, "Oh man, I'm so
People that
like."
the people that sat up there and pretty much said they wanted him dead the week before are now sitting up there. All those videos
Oh,
suddenly
suddenly
disappeared.
disappeared.
Yeah, videos suddenly disappeared, and then they were like, "We didn't want this to happen." Yes, you did.
Yeah, you
Yes,
did.
you
You
did.
called it into existence, and it
Yeah,
happened, and you felt like crap.
yeah, you felt like shit when he actually passed away. So, yeah, uh, the person that had me laughing the most though was I think it was Razor Fist when he was like, "All of y'all gonna be pirouetting like a Dark Souls character," and I'd be damned if he wasn't telling the truth.
He was right.
He
He
was
was
right, 'cause
right.
there was so many channels that was, like I said, whole video playlist was disappearing.
Mm-hmm.
and
Like
that
just
man
straight up
passed,
hate this man
disappeared.
because he was doing his job.
Yeah,
Straight up hate. I like,
I
and
mean,
everybody can admit, like you can't agree with everything that
yeah,
he
but you don't
did.
have to be freaking acting like you know it all when you're not sitting in the meetings and in the boardrooms.
No, you don't.
Because you don't. That's the thing. Like that's why it's hard when you are trying to analyze something. It is hard to analyze something when you don't know all the variables and you don't know
Especially when you have
privy
critical
to all
information.
the. Yeah, you're not privy to all the information, but people listen to people like Michael Pachter thinking that he knows, he don't, and they say, "Oh well, you know, this guy says this, so that means he knows." No, he don't. No, he don't. And before you start believing stockholders, they have to sign NDAs. There's certain things they can and
Yeah,
can't talk about.
they
So
definitely can't talk about
they
everything.
definitely ain't gonna tell you everything. They'll say, "Yeah, it's looking good," but they ain't gonna tell you everything because once again, that's trade secrets. They get FCC get involved, they screwed.
Yep.
So it's those situations. So yeah, I mean,
Just think about it. Remember all those all those stockholders that sold off their stocks to Nintendo when the Switch was revealed.
yeah,
Like
and
how
boy,
Nintendo stocks plummeted, and everybody's, oh, Nintendo's doomed. Then the Switch comes out, oh, Nintendo's gonna win.
man, Nintendo was still sitting. Nintendo was still sitting with like what was it, like 8 billion in cash. In cash, we're not talking about assets. We're talking about cash.
Yeah,
I promise you, Sony and Microsoft don't have that much in cash. Not in cash.
not directly in the company. No, a lot of that's in their investments.
Yeah, because Sony had to sell off freaking whole divisions when they were going through their stuff.
I mean, look what happened to Vio.
Yep. Yeah, Vio ain't here no more.
Nah, it don't exist.
It don't exist. Like they had to sell off whole divisions. So, I mean, it's one of those situations where you have to be careful and mindful. And if you just don't know, there's nothing wrong with saying, "Look, man, this is what I think," because I don't know. I'm not sitting in there with them. This is what I think may happen.
But yeah,
Yeah. So
I think I accidentally sidetracked the hell out of the conversation.
yeah, you did. But we're heading into the home stretch here. So we had a direct. It just wasn't the direct everybody wanted.
Oh man! But to be fair, we got 2 days warning.
Yeah, we got 2 days to warn. So and boy was everybody pissed. But if you are a Pokemon fan, I do not have Sword and Shield, so I have not played it. I don't care. But we're gonna talk about it because they did have some good information. Basically, they're giving an expansion pack to those who have it. The Isle of something and the Tundra of Crown or something like that. Anyway, one of those things. But it's an expansion pack with new characters, new Pokemon to go after, and the controversial, not really controversial, but they're they're bringing back some of the old Pokemon, not
Some
all of it,
some of
but
the
some of it.
Pokemon that were in the code that
Yeah,
people were hacking into and
yeah,
forcing into the game.
yeah.
The Nintendo
So
had already had plans to bring back.
to
That's
bring
why
it
they're
back,
doing the
yeah,
expansion pass.
yeah. So I mean, it's one of those situations where yeah, they do have it, and they are bringing that back. So the people that was mad about Dexy that went on and bought both copies of the game 5 times anyway, it helped to be one of the fastest selling games after telling people to boycott it.
That's the funny
Uh,
thing. I'm like, them same people that was talking about boycott it probably bought it.
oh, not only that, probably bought both Switch Lights.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm like, dude. You're not helping your cause when you complain about something for 3 months straight.
And
Tell
then
people
go
to
get it
boycott
anyway.
it, and you go buy it anyway. They're not going to listen to you. You want to know why Nintendo's not going to listen to you about Pokemon? Do you know how much that thing sold in 2 weeks?
Oof.
They're not going to listen to you.
No, they're
Why would
not.
they listen to you?
Look, you still giving them the money.
Anyway.
Still giving them the money. There is only a few people I personally know of that are not supporting Sword and Shield in any way after making those complaints. For the most part, most of the people that made those complaints went out and bought the game.
Yeah, and the Switch Lights that went with it. I'm just look. The proof is in the pudding. When you see the sales figures, you like, yeah,
Y'all
y'all,
bought it. Y'all bought it. Even though y'all
y'all was
said you wasn't going to. Y'all bought it.
yeah. It's the same thing with like Star Wars. Like, okay, yeah, you complain about it, but most of the people that complained went and saw the movie 2 and 3 and 4 times. So
Hmm.
guess what? Guess what Disney's gonna do? Not
They
what you
still
think
they
they're
still
gonna
gonna they still gonna hack up the series as horrible as they have been.
do because you keep going. Like I'm not even sure. Like after this, because I've only seen Rise of Skywalker once. You can check that video out. Me and T, we had our therapy session. We're gonna probably have to do with another. We're gonna start doing a series of that. But yeah, we had our therapy session about it. We got it all off our chest. But that's the point. Like when you say when you're that angry about something, and the only way these are corporations. The only way you get their attention, you can cuss them out on Twitter. You can say all this other stuff. You can bash them on your YouTube channel all you want to. The only way you gonna stop them, get them to actually change,
Stop paying.
stop
Hold
paying.
hold your money. Stop impulse paying these people.
But y'all don't do that. So why were you mad? But
Why people think that games come out with pre-orders sell out, and then the game comes out broken, and y'all mad about it coming out broken, but you still buy it. Fallout 76, perfect example.
perfect example. I
That
wouldn't
game
buy nothing from Bethesda day one.
so broken. That
Yeah,
game is so horribly broken. As soon as Elder Scrolls 6 comes out,
it's gonna be day one.
day
Not,
one in it. Even
not
though they know exactly what problems the game is going to have because it's running on the exact same engine that Bethesda keeps using, and they never fix the issues because they wait for what to happen. The fan community on the PC side of the things to make patches, then they go ahead and download the patch and pass it out to other platforms. That's
while
exactly
you
what
pay
happened.
for it, and you pay for that, by the way.
Yeah, and you pay for that.
Yeah. So, but I will say this: I did like the Cub Fu.
Oh yeah.
So apparently, Pokemon when they got their own Leroy Smith from Tekken 7.
That's what I was like. They got Leroy Smith and the other one. The other one's a grappler and the other one does strike. Oh no. They both do it. But like there's Leroy Smith. They're both kind of like Leroy Smith. But then I also looked at it as like, okay, I'm seeing red and I see blue,
Yep.
and I hear quick strikes and wave motions. It was like, so we got Yin and Yang in Pokemon.
Yep. Yep.
Yin and Yang from Street Fighter and Pokemon. Because
In Pokemon. Yep.
does the hard hitting quick strikes, and Yang does the wave motion, but the quick succession wave motion attacks. I'm
Hmm.
like, that's Yin and Yang.
So I'm waiting for Cub Fu to have his rap song to go with his trailer. I'm waiting for
Oh,
that. His theme. Um, Harada would be proud, man. Harada would be proud of what y'all did to Game Freak. He would. He really would. But then they have the Calyx Pokemon that has a clear
I'm like, yeah.
Triforce around his neck. He got a Triforce necklace around his neck. So I'm like, okay, we
Like
just
they just crossing over every universe at this point. Like,
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for one of them to look like a Landmaster tank now.
and on top of that, we got Pokemon with the sniper rifle now. I'm
Yeah, I'm talking
like
about
y'all really did this.
they got a Pokemon with a sniper rifle that looks like he's camping.
He can't be waiting. And he like this, like ready to pop somebody. I'm like, oh man, y'all just. Ooh, Nintendo Game Freak and Pokemon Company, y'all went out there on this one.
They having too much fun. So I
They-
mean, look, uh,
but the funny thing is, the memes that were coming out, like the memes beforehand, before this direct happened, were sword, shield, and gun. And I'm like, y'all dropped the Pokemon with a gun.
yeah, they tried to Pokemon with a damn gun.
I'm like, y'all dropped the Pokemon with a rifle. Did y'all really think this through?
Apparently, they did. So,
They
yeah,
had to sat down and said, like, what can we do that'll be popular with the kids? That'll draw a lot of attention. Like, people like guns. We ain't got a Pokemon with a gun yet. Let's get a Pokemon with a gun. I mean, we already did the sword and the shield. We might as well do the gun.
might as well. So yeah, I overall though I thought it was okay. It was 20 minutes. It was straight into the point. I mean, if you had the game, it was a lot of information for you as a gamer to make your mind up on, as opposed to what you wanted to get the expansion pass or not. It shows you two new areas. I'm like, hey, dude,
and for it, like the people that don't want to get the expansion pass because they don't want to pay to have to unlock the other Pokemon, there's a free update
Yeah.
that's coming with each one of those games, each one of those expansions that drop, which will allow you to download that, and then you can trade for the other Pokemon. You do
Yeah.
not have to buy the expansion pass to get them.
Yeah.
You
But you
have to
do.
buy it to get
But you.
those
But you
additional
do have to
content.
trade them. But you do have to trade for
You
them.
have to trade for,
Yeah.
which I think that's fair.
Yeah. That's fair. That is very fair.
But
So
there's something that was bugging me though during the live stream, and I was watching and I was paying attention to the comments during the live stream. There were people who were laughing about the fact that you pay $30 for this expansion pass, and the expansion pass actually covers both of the games. It doesn't
yeah.
cover one; it covers both.
Yeah.
So it's only 30 for the expansion pass for both of them. So if you own both copies, you get all of that for that $30. But there are people that were making jokes about, oh, they made the third game DLC. But then there are people complaining, the exact same people that were laughing about that were prior to that being announced, were complaining that there was no third game. Like, so you would have rather paid an extra $60 for a separate cartridge and game than $30 for extra content for both copies of the game.
Some people don't make no sense,
And,
man.
and I was watching this. I actually went back through the chat a
Uh,
couple times to make sure it was the same people. And it's the same people. I'm like, how do you make both of these arguments? How? I can one or the other. You can't make both of them. So either they were trolling or they really are just that stupid.
they man. I've come to the realization that people just gonna complain just to complain, man.
Yeah.
At this point, god dang,
And
man.
then the people get mad at the Pokemon mystery dungeon announcement. I'm like, why y'all gotta try to kill the joy for people that might like the mystery dungeon
I
series?
mean, you
It's
ain't gotta get it if you don't want
you
it.
don't want it, you ain't gotta buy it. It's just for the people that want it.
Now,
You don't have to have it.
now watch the people that did all the complaining. They probably gonna
They gonna
have it.
go pick it up. They be like, man,
They
I'm done.
put
Look, they gonna finish with Sword and Shield with the expansion pass and all that stuff. I'm like, man, I want more Pokemon. Let me go ahead and pick up that mystery dungeon HD.
I mean,
That's exactly what's gonna happen.
you can get the demo right now.
Get the demo, try it out. Instead of sitting there shooting it down.
Oh. Man, dude,
Again, people
man,
stupid.
man,
People
people make
stupid.
my head hurt, man.
Individuals can be very intelligent, but when you got mass groups,
Yeah,
you almost always find stupidity.
yeah, unfortunately. So, all right, so since we got the Pokemon Direct, the not the January Direct that people wanted. So I got a feeling that Nintendo's like, oh, so y'all gonna tell us when to do a direct, huh? All right, got something
We
for
give you
y'all.
direct, give you
You know,
direct, but it ain't gonna be what you think it is.
yeah. Now this part was supposed to be an end. It was supposed to be an end of January direct, but because y'all want to be assholes about it, give them that. So, when do you think we're getting at the true normal first of the year direct? February sometime? Probably February.
Probably not until like the second to last week of February.
Yeah, because they still gotta because they and here's the thing that I love about the first of the year direct is because like they tell you the concrete release dates for the stuff going up to E3.
Yep.
That's why I'm like, dude. So I just wait for them to tell me because we
Instead
got a
of
lot of to be announced. We just gotta they're gonna give us the concrete dates, and
instead of
then they're
sitting
gonna
there
give us a couple of
speculating and everything.
surprises. Yeah. Now we might get another. Now we might get a Smash Brothers one because the fifth character is probably gonna come out in February sometime, probably the 1st of February. So we're probably gonna get maybe like a 10 or 15 minute. I don't think he's doing another 45 minute.
Oh no.
Here-
Not unless
Here's for y'all talking trash about
not unless
not know
look,
who Terry
not
is.
unless the Terry get not the Terry. Not unless the character gets announced a little bit ahead of time and people start complaining again.
Yeah. So
Oh no, if that happens, you know for a
he's gonna
fact
be out.
Sasha. You're like, okay.
Oh,
And
you don't
look,
know who this
he
is?
gonna, he gonna pull one of these moves like, bet it's gonna
Yeah.
happen. It's gonna happen. I'm like,
So,
y'all need to stop messing with Sakurai. Like, stop pissing this man off, because you could tell that direct happened the way it did, because he was pissed off. And
I
he
mean,
had fun making sure everybody knew exactly who Terry was. He was like, I'm going to put this character in the game that y'all said was irrelevant, and I'm going to make you like him. I'm going to
and,
make you like him.
and here's the
And
funny thing
damn
about
it.
it. Here's the funny thing about it. Every event that every if you go online right now, the majority of people are playing with Terry. Go on,
And,
and you,
I'm again say this. I'm gonna say this again. The Smash models for these characters look better.
down
For
their
third
game.
party characters look better than the versions of the characters that the companies that own them are putting out. Terry in Smash looks better than Terry in King of Fighters 14.
Dude,
Ryu and Ken in Smash
some of the
look better.
first party characters look better than the characters in their own game. Samus,
That's true. That's true.
Link, Young Link.
But I feel like that Samus model is going to be used in the next Metroid game. I have
I
a
mean,
feeling it's going to be
first
used.
of all, if I'm the artist of some of these other games and I'm looking at
I,
Smash,
I
I'm
was
mad.
just bad. I'm like,
I'm mad as hell.
how you going to take my design and make it better? How you?
How you gonna like? Cause now when they see what I do, they're gonna be like, man, this is trash. What are you doing, man?
What you doing, Sakurai? Stop this.
Yeah. So look, man, look. But yeah, to me, I think the next direct's probably gonna be in February, probably sometime, probably around the second week of February, just because there are a couple big games that's supposed to come out in April. So I'm like the Trial of Mana remake that one's supposed to come out in April. So I mean, we're probably gonna get one sooner because they got to get those release dates out.
Yeah, they have
So
the release.
and we still got to do the Smash Brothers last character, and then they're probably gonna talk about the second fighter pass because I don't think the second fighter pass is gonna be as big as the first one. I really don't. I don't think it's gonna be 5 characters. I think it's gonna probably be like 3 or 4, maybe
It'll
4.
probably be. It'll
But
probably be.
yeah, I don't think.
Well, that depends if they want to end on an even number of characters or an odd number of characters.
And hopefully we get a subspace emissary.
That's what I really want them to announce.
Give me
It
the
doesn't have to be exactly the subspace emissary, but it has to be an
Give me a
adventure mode.
story.
The story.
Give me an actual story. World of Light is not a story. World of Light is event mode.
It's like a board game, basically.
No, it's event mode. It's event mode with 6 cutscenes
Mm.
that make no sense.
I'm gonna say they might not make much sense, but that opening video is still epic as all hell. All you left with is Kirby. Kirby, the only one that survives.
Because it's basically Nintendo's Infinity War. I mean, that's what it is.
There's only a couple characters that had a slight chance to survive, and then they got wiped out almost immediately.
Yeah.
Link almost survived. His shield blocked one beam. The other one went around that. And like, oh no, you can hit, bro.
Yeah, he blocked too. Sonic could have got away, but he decided to try to save Pikachu slow ass.
And like Sonic would have been like, if Sonic would have just ran for it, he'd have been straight.
Yeah,
he'd have been good.
So, yeah.
Link's Hylian shield could have blocked the beams. He just wasn't quick enough. See, if Sonic was smart, he would have he'd have ran over and snatched Link's shield. You don't need this. Like, nah, bro, I'm taking this. This can block that. I'm taking this. I'm running with it.
Yeah, so that still surprises me to this day that it blocked 2 beams.
But Palutena and Zelda's magic couldn't do nothing. Not a thing. I'm like, hold up.
the hell? Like the hell? So yeah.
Link ain't supposed to be as powerful as these two, but yet he was able to deflect that beam. They couldn't at all.
Yeah.
Like that's a shot to your ego right there.
To the ego. Strictly to the ego. But yeah, sorry this episode ran over long. I do apologize. I know I try to keep these between 45 minutes and an hour. We're over a little bit. But there was a lot of stuff came out this week.
It was plus it was funny to talk about half of it. So I mean,
yeah, some of it was jokes and some of it was our complete evisceration of Jeff Keighley's pettiness. So As
Uh,
always, thank you everybody for watching. Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell so y'all be notified when we go live. Um, I do have. I'm getting back into doing Let's Talks. As you saw last week, I put up at least I think 2 or 3 Let's Talks. So I'm probably gonna be doing more of those. I am going back to doing some live streams starting on Friday. So I'm gonna call it Friday night. I don't know if it's gonna be Friday night fights or it's gonna be Friday night plays. So it's gonna be on Friday nights. I'll be live streaming it up probably around 7 or 8. Probably go for about an hour,
you could
depending.
call it Primetime Fridays.
Yeah, I can probably do that.
That'll be a
Yeah, I
good
can do
name.
that. Yeah. So, yeah, you'll see it though, because I'll put it up
One
on
way or another,
Twitter.
maybe.
Yeah. Follow me on Twitter, and you'll see the thing, all that good stuff. And follow my Discord. Like I said, I have links in the description. I want to start doing some stuff with my Discord. So as far as like multiplayer games and stuff, so hit me up on that and all that good stuff. Andre, anything you want to pimp out?
Um, I mean, I got my usual stuff coming. I mean, my 3DS game ideas series is finishing up next week, which is going to
Yeah,
be replaced by an Xbox series that I'm starting. I have
yeah.
to I have to do recording for all of those videos. I already got like 23 ideas for that written out. I just got to record it.
Oh, cool.
Then I had my gamers' thoughts talking about the pitiful hardware of the Wii U, but the good games that everybody wants ported. I swear,
Oh, that's
people,
every week. It's
logic, logic and reasoning coming from the person with the crazy game ideas. That's not
ev-
supposed to happen, but y'all making me do it.
every week is a different. Well, this should be ported. You should have bought
But
the.
but my thing, the thing that inspired that whole video was I saw a post where someone said we can all agree that the Wii U was bad hardware, but the games were good. I'm
It wasn't bad hardware.
like, do you even understand how the hardware worked in the first place to say it was bad? And then you're going to say the games are good, but guess what? Those games were designed around that hardware. So if the games are good, then the hardware, in fact, has to be good.
Just admit, like it would have
Just
came up and
admit you
said,
didn't want to get it because it wasn't popular.
"Yeah,
That's the
that's it.
literal
Yeah,
only argument. Just admit
that's
you
it."
didn't want to get it because it wasn't popular, and now that the Switch is popular, it does less than the Wii U did, but it's popular. Everybody
Especially
wants it.
feature wise. Especially feature wise.
But that's my whole point.
Yeah.
The Switch came out doing way less, still does less than the Wii U did.
Hmm.
But
I mean,
but the Switch is good hardware. Even though everybody's complaining about wanting the Switch Pro because they're saying that the Switch is weak hardware. Make sure
do
your
the games
arguments
work?
match up, people. Make sure
Do
your arguments match up. Because
do the
I see
games
the
work?
same I see the same people saying that the Switch is good hardware over the Wii U, but the Switch is also bad hardware.
Here's my question for the Switch for people who say that about the Switch. Do the games work?
Do the games work? Do they play? Are you getting the full experience out of them? If yes, then the hardware is good because the software is giving you what you want. Simple as that. But
Simple.
if you wanna hear my elongated talk about that, that's on my channel. It's the gamer's thoughts. The Wii U is bad, but the games are good. And my what if dropped yesterday about what if the unprecedented Nintendo and EA partnership actually was a thing, and how that could have gone out. And I got some
Origin
more stuff.
incorporated in the Miiverse, boy. Woo, that would have been fun.
That would have been so bad, but there would have been positives that came out of that
Yeah,
situation. That
yeah.
which is why I talked about it. It was interesting to me to talk about. I got other what ifs. I got them recorded. I just have to post them.
Mm.
But for the most part, is I'm going to be put. I still have my gameplay coming up. You're going to see more Streets of Rage remake. There's still going to be more Mega Man Maker stuff coming from me. I've My mind is so full of stuff. At times, I get frozen on what to do next. So I'm starting to just lay it out in a plan where certain days I'll do certain video types, and then I'll have those lined up. Which is what I'm going to start doing. I'm just scheduling myself to figure out what I'm doing because the more I sit here, I'm like, all this stuff is in my head. I want to get these videos out, but I don't know what to start first.
Just start with one and keep going.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. That's why there's going to be tons of uploads again. Because I think back in November I had like 70 videos uploaded before the month was over. So planning on doing that again.
Cool.
It's going to
And
be a lot of work.
yeah. So we will see you guys next week, as always. Same black time, same black channel, and and we'll catch you out. We'll see y'all then. And as always, Wakanda forever.
All right. Peace out, everybody.